Before the war, all women got their blood, every single month. All women were fit to bear children. Then again, she used to ramble a lot when she got old, always about how it was before the war. It's hard to know what was real and what was an old woman's fantasy. When my blood came, my parents had to submit my DNA for testing. I still don't know what DNA is, but I had to spit into a cup and they sent it away with a Xalaran soldier. I had almost forgotten about it when we got the news. My DNA was compatible. After that, my life was no longer my own. There was a ticking clock, my 20th birthday, and I'd be sent away. The man who walks in, I think of him as the doctor. I sort of think of him as a man, too, even though one look and he's definitely not human. The Xalarans are an odd shade of reddish, orangish, almost rust-colored. Their skin looks like ours from afar, but it's not anything like ours. When the guards brought me on the ship, I felt their arms brush against mine. Their skin is warm, like really warm, which is probably why they don't get cold. And it has an odd texture, like an old leather boot, flexible yet tough. They're huge, hulking, muscled in a way that no Earthman could ever be, especially not after the war poisoned the land. Their faces look like ours, which is why I keep thinking of them as men. They have no hair. Their heads have raised bumps about the size of a coin. They don't protrude that much, giving their heads a sleek look. The guards are decorated with jewelry on their arms, cuffs and bangles that look suspiciously like they were carved out of bone. Their teeth look human, except they have 2 sets of canine teeth instead of 1, 4 fangs on top and 4 on the bottom. The guards do not wear anything above the waist, only worn leather breeches which end above their ankles. The boots they wear are made of some other material I am not familiar with. Apparently leather is good enough for their pants and their arm baubles, but their footwear looks solid, like it's been crafted of a lightweight metal or polymer. I would want to draw one of these aliens. My fingers itch to hold my charcoal pencil. It would be a challenge to get the shading on their heads correct, but the real challenge of my artistic talent would be to capture the raw sense of unrestraint that I feel coming off of the aliens. What they possess is not an animal, feral, unthinking brutality. They are civilized, though their civilization is steeped in violence. They are clever. Their eyes are sharp with cunning and intelligence that most of the villagers on Earth don't have. To draw both of those dueling and contradictory qualities, brute force and a quick mind, would be a challenge indeed. The doctor claps his hands to bring us all to attention. He reminds me of a doctor because he wears a tunic in addition to his breeches. He doesn't carry a weapons stick, but instead carries a white polymer case that's filled with different instruments and tools. I imagine that his case is filled with many little jars filled with herbs and powders like the healer's cases back home. Except I know better. It's filled with cold metal instruments. He also reminds me of a doctor because he was the one who inspected me. When I entered the spaceship, the guard scanned the barcode tattoo marking on my shoulder and then put me in a small room where I waited alone. I waited and waited until the doctor came in. He told me to take off my clothes. I expected him to leer and fondle me. My hands shook as I removed my clothing. The tales we tell on Earth about these Xalarans involve their insatiable lust and barbaric violence. Instead of leering, the doctor merely swept his gaze up and down my body, dispassionately as a farmer inspecting his dog for ticks. Somehow, his disinterest was worse. I was nothing to him, just another good to be inspected and imported into his home planet of Xalax. He made me lie down on an examination table and spread my legs. He peered at me, poking and peeling back my folds. Confirming my virginity, I know. As if any of the village boys wanted anything to do with a girl who was marked. Once I was inspected, the doctor put me into the room with the other girls, where we've been waiting. They haven't bothered to give us clothes, haven't bothered to tell us what is going to happen, where we are going to go. And why should they bother? To them, this room full of trembling girls, we're like cows in the barn. The doctor approached